What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back with more Danmachi. And well, these videos were unfortunately due out yesterday. I didn't get them done, but here we go. Boss 1-8, and this once again is going to be of a very familiar looking team. Now we've done a couple of minor changes once again to the fire team. We've still got this dude as the DPS, but this is a single target event. So I've added this bell. Well, this is a free-to-play, completely available through the tickets. I'll show you that here in just a moment. Ready to act bell, and this is a single target unit that is also fire and buff single target damage. So that's going to help us out a lot. But because the opponent is a beast type, I also added Clown Argo. Clown Argo, also a completely free-to-play unit. You can get both these guys through the tickets. You can max them both out completely free-to-play. And while he is an AoE, we're not going to use his SA. We're literally just going to use skill 3, the high fire physical attack. Now, while it doesn't give any percentage boosts or anything like that, I think it's going to be fine as like a DPS skill. So, our goal with this team, and you'll also notice that I actually moved Fells over onto the Bell unit. That's because Bell is a magic unit and she has a much better, Fells, whatever Fells is, has a, even Fells is forgotten, has a much better magic stat. So this being a magic unit, one thing you need to know about this, like the Bell we were using yesterday, is this Bell gets a big boost from having a great sword attached. So I've actually attached the magic unnamed sword. So we'll be good to go there. Now, as far as acquiring these two units, if we go down here into the shop, we go to Special Exchange, and we go to the Event Units Exchange, scroll down a little bit, and there's the Undead Bell. Stop, don't do stupid things. Clown Argo, fully acceptable through here. You can actually farm him up pretty easy. And Ready to Act Bell, stop it, right here. So both of these dudes are obtainable for free through the exchange. Now, I'm aware Clown Argo was a second anniversary unit, so we're not expecting huge amounts of damage out of him. But once again, every little bit counts when we're talking about free to play, and we're not going for the S clear here. We're literally just going for the best possible clear. So same equipment as always, same basic assortment as always. The only real difference here are those two units. So let's get down to business. We're going to go ahead and do our defensive maneuver. We're going to start our general buff stack. I'm trying to remember. I think he's a 1-2-3. Yeah, he is 1-2-3. So we're going to do that. And Clown Argo, I believe, is 2. He is. All right. So let's go. This is going to be really, really, really easy. And the nice part is the only unit that actually has extra attacks. Well, actually, let me double check this bell. Let me see here. So this guy, we're going to go ahead and do, I don't think we get any debuffs on this opponent. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. I'm going to go and do his skill 3. This bell, we do allies get physical resistant magic resist 20%. But we actually don't need that. We already got a defensive buff. That does mean, actually, I forgot he had that skill. So that actually does mean that, number 1, we can apply that to Haruhime and help out. Number 2, we could switch the Winter Haru if we wanted to. But for the sake of building like a very simple team, it's not really necessary. It also does mean that we could put Line back on the front, use skill 2, and make this go a little faster, but we're at where we're at. I'm literally at this point just recycling a team for the sake of making it easy for you guys, rather than build, okay, because I'm lazy, honestly. But you could build like a handful of teams to just take this on. In fact, when I go do the S-clears, it's going to be hilarious, the team we use to wipe out everything. Utterly hilarious. Wait till you see that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But skill 2, skill 3, skill 3 once again, and we don't need a skill 2, so we're going to do a skill 3. So literally, we just skipped a skill 3 with everybody. Let's go. Now, we could, if we get debuffed, we could take advantage of some of that there. And honestly, I could have used skill 2 to make Line a little bit more potent. Ooh, we're going to get S8 here. Ooh. I might have needed that skill 2. I don't know. Okay. So let's do one little change to this team. And then I emphasized little changes. This is not going to be a massive change. But once again, I am going to put Line back in the front. Okay? Let's try this again. And literally, the only reason I'm going to do this You'll find out here in a moment. Let's go and do her skill 2. We're going to do skill 1 with him. I'm going to do skill 2 with him to give us a little bit more, basically survivability. I'm not worried about the damage output. Once again, we're worried more about longevity and getting through this. Now, Haruhime comes in. We can do skill 1 with her. Then, I don't need his skill 2, so we're going to go straight to skill 3. We will want to buff him, so we're going to go back to do skill 1 with him. And then, once again, skill 3 with him. Let's go. Alright. Now. Ooh, he's favoring that bell. But, here we go. Now we just have to survive this essay. Haruhime is not in a great spot here, but she survived it last time. So, as long as we don't get any critical or penetration, we should be fine. There we go. Perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the 40% debuff. That's going to take care of some of his damage. That's basically all we're looking at here. I'm going to once again do skill 2. Give Haruhime a little more vitality, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. And then I can go back and do this attack. That's just basically to ensure that every single turn we get an extra attack. Actually, you know what I could do? These are all AoE skills, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and do skill 1 and let that go. All right. Now, if we wind up with a bunch of debuffs, in fact, notice there's an endurance debuff here. I'm going to do a skill 2, get rid of that endurance debuff, so it's not affecting everybody. That will also help this spell get a little bit more survivability. And then we're going to go ahead and do his skill 3. Don't believe, no, he does not get extra actions. So we can just spam skill 3. We're going to spam skill 3 with Argo. And then we're basically going to spam skill 1 with the exception of when we need to do, basically when we need to do that right there. So, let's go. Now, we are going to rely on Haruhime here to do some countering. But actually, we didn't get hit all that hard. I take that back. Maybe... Well, no, we still need the defenses because these guys are a little low in defense. So, I don't know. I've got to reponder this because we're not taking enough damage to get counters. Maybe doing his skill 2... well, his... I'll do a skill 1 there. Maybe doing his skill 2 wasn't the best maneuver. We'll see. Anyway, at this point, we're going to work up to a triple essay. So, let's just spam skill 1 here, spam skill 3 with everybody else, and let's go. All right. Nobody's taking any damage, and I want to emphasize, while that seems like a good thing on paper, it actually is bad. We do want some counters. So, okay, actually, you know what? We're taking damage here. So, that's okay. That's perfect. All right, got to survive an SA, but I don't really have doubts we're going to do that. Ooh, we took a good amount of damage. Okay, all right. Once again, just spamming everything. Let's go. And the key thing with these free-to-play teams is we're not trying to get fancy. We're not trying to beat this in 9 turns. We're not like, you know, worried about speed or any of that. We're really just kind of like trying to get through it. Now, you can get as fancy as you want to get. You can fart around with whatever units you want, and you can build different teams. But the main thing here is survivability. So if you notice that I'm basically using units that kind of cheese their way through it, that's 100% by design. Like, by no means am I sitting here trying to, like, build an S-clear team. I'm trying to build a team that's first and foremost defensive and then can beat things. You know what I mean? So, like, basically we're winning just by sheer, like, willpower is kind of what, I guess, the best way to word it. So, Haruhime's SA needs no introduction. Everybody's going to get 100% strength and magic. This SA is going to produce a magic resist, physical resist, and fire resist reduction by 50%. That means old boy here is going down. Now, the one thing I didn't mention here at the beginning is that naturally has a physical defensive buff by 10%, but fire and water are both down 10%, and you could actually debuff that even further like I have. So that's why the fire team is really preferable here. But notice that it is a beast type, and Argo is a beast killer. And I could SA with him, But I'm going to be honest, because it's an AoE essay, I'm going to bypass it for now. I want to see what these guys do, because I already kind of know what he's going to do. He's going to get 30% damage, and he's going to maybe top out around 250k-ish, maybe. I really got to see, because I don't know 100% with his weapon ascension and all that what difference it makes. But I'm expecting about 250,000, and I really feel like his skill 3 is going to be better, maybe? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So let's see what happens here. So Haruhime is not a damage producer. Haruhime is just a buff. This bell, not great, but we're in it for the debuffs, not necessarily the act. Now this bell is a single target bell, and it's going to produce extra single target damage. So let's see what he does with all the debuffs in play. Almost 500,000. That's actually better than I expected. I'm not going to lie. Now, don't expect 2 and 3 mil hits out of your free-to-plays. This is just not where we're at in this realm of things. But we're about half health at this point. I think he starts off with about 9 mil health. So we're maybe even less, actually. 4.3 mil. Still, 4.3 mil is going to fall off the map here pretty quickly. So skill 3, skill 1. Going back to skill 3 here. The debuffs. What happened to our debuffs? He must remove those debuffs, because there were other debuffs in play as well. That's a bit frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, that is a bit frustrating. So basically those debuffs are in play just for that one turn. So that's a little disheartening. But not the end of the world. We can work our way around it. Let's see, because I haven't been paying attention, honestly. I'm going to look here and see how long those debuffs last. And maybe doing an essay on turn 9 rather than turn 8 would be better. Because notice, the debuffs actually now are staying put. Whereas they weren't before, they did now. So maybe every 4th turn or something, he probably wipes those out. So I may have made a mistake there, and that might actually be the wrong turn to do it on. Yep, and that, I believe, is exactly what happened. Skill 1. Let's see. Boom. And yeah. Alright. I'm going to go into Yosuga with her. I think that's going to be a fine choice of action. Let's see when those buffs are wiped out. So I think for this next one, the next match, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see Fire Retreat down 35%. That'll be rebuffed when he does his extra attack anyway, so we're good there. So I think for the next one, we're going to build it up to a quad essay and see pretty much where we are at with that. I think that is going to be a fine choice of motivation here. Let's go. I mean, the only thing we can do now is just soldier on and see when those debuffs are taken off. Because notice they're still there. So if my theory is correct, maybe the end of this turn, beginning of the next. He removed them during that fight. So during turn 8, when we got that triple essay, they were removed. So maybe wait until after turn 8 to do that, if I'm completely honest here. But let's get this quad and see where we're at. I may have to resort to doing base attacks just so he survives, but let's see here. Okay, Haruhime is going to have to go Sheikah again. And once again, we're literally just spamming skill 1 with Bell, the skill 3 with the Magic Bell and Argo. And at this point, turn 15, we are down to 2 mil. Alright, let's go again. And on turn 18, I want to say, we're going to get our quad essay. Now, once again, I did talk about this yesterday. There are ways to get more essay power out of your units. But because we're working in the free-to-play realm, and because the only thing I really recommended was getting Finn, because getting casinos here is a little bit harder, at least in this day and age. I do want to emphasize the importance of that Finn unit. I really hope you got him if you didn't have him already. Because, as you noticed, he's on every team here. Let's go and see what the quad does. Some of our debuffs were removed. The only difference is now we're going to get a little bit more power out of everybody because we are doing a quad SA. And we're going to see what he does as far as damage goes. But we'll get, if you're following along, everybody's going to get 100% strength and magic. And we're going to get 50% physical, magic, and fire resistance for 1 turn. So let's go ahead and see. Okay. Kind of already know what to expect out of him. Actually, he didn't get critical or penetration there, so he hit pretty low. Got critical. And... oh, nice. So the Beast Killer skill paid out. I didn't expect him to do that much damage, but the Beast Killer skill really helped him out on that one. So, honestly, if I was going to go back and redo it, I would do a quad right out of the gate. And, but the thing is, you got to be able to adjust for that. I completely forgot when I was doing the essays that he had the Beast Killer skill. And that really makes all the difference in the world, as you notice there. So, one little amendment I would make, do the quad essay as your first essay, and then just kind of soldier onward. But do keep in mind that he will apparently remove debuffs. I was not aware of that. And, you know, make note of what turns that happens on so that you can be a little more effective at this. If I was going to be honest here, I did that in 20 turns. I could probably go back and rebuild this team and do it in 15, but it doesn't matter. We got our A clear. That's the important part. If some mistakes were made, that's fine. This isn't like an accuracy run. This isn't like a speed run. This is literally survive, get through it as quickly as you can, get your rewards, move on. That's the EX mission, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're going to go take on 1-9 here. And let's see, 1-9 is not typed, so... will this team make a resurgence? I don't know, let's find out.